having fun, like all of a sudden, like this boy just came, like look at us, like you wanna fight him like that. But then my friend confronted him. He said, "Why you looking at us?" Like he scolded all of us. So that's when we get hot. Like we were like circling him, then like he was really want to fight us. Then like my friend swing the glass bottle to the seat. Then he punched my friend.
When your friend went for him, what was your immediate thought?
My friend was being beaten up like quite bad. Then like just hit him .
You all voluntarily caused hurt. You kicked the victim's ribcage and kneecap 2 to 3 times. And then you also punched the victim on his face about 3 to 4 times while he was lying on the ground. Okay. Do you have any friends on probation?
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of know what it's like, right? It's a community rehabilitation, so that means he will be able to go to work, go to school, stay at home. Okay. But there will be a lot of conditions placed on him. And it might also feel like the family also kena probation together with him.
Did anyone explain to you why you're here today?
No.
Because you're below 21 years old, when you're charged in court, most of the time the court will ask for a probation report. Usually we get our cases from the courts. They are referred to us because they've committed offences. So my job here is really to understand whether you are suitable for probation. You do know that if you're placed on probation, there is no conviction record, right?
Of course, I'm looking for probation.
Probation is essentially supervision of an offender in the community. It is a second chance because it is an opportunity for them to recognize the harm that they've caused others, to make amends, to stop offending.
Your first procedure offence is you decided that you will bring the earphone out of the shop. So your second charge, at around 3 a.m., you were outside. There was some yelling. The police officer spotted you and then told you to stop. And then you actually hurled some vulgarities back at him. Okay, your third charge, you decide to steal alcohol. So these are the 3 offences. There's no dispute, right?
If not for probation, the court can actually commit them to an institution like a juvenile rehab center or to prison.
What was happening at that point when you decide to steal the earphone?
I actually went to drink alone. Then I was very tipsy. I thought like, never mind, 1年一次 my birthday. I also don't know what I'm doing. Then suddenly this year they call me, then I'm, oh my god, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the one where you heard vulgarities at the police officer?
I was walking into the bar. There was this uncle, he put me back and he said, hey, why you tell people should never say sorry? So I apologized already, then he said that my apology was not sincere. And then he slapped me. Then the police came on. I was quite angry. Somehow I was drinking a lot already. When I drink, I want to get drunk. So I force down. I keep drinking. I just felt like a lot of emotions I cannot express throughout anyone. I cannot talk to anyone, so if I drink, then maybe people will hear me out.
So your parents are divorced. Do they know that you're being charged for the offence?
No.
How come you never tell them?
Also useless. They also won't do anything.
My mom and my dad, I didn't know they were separated. The teacher told me that I come from separated family. Then I don't know, so I still joke. Then I吵eh. Eh? Your mother was around the paper. Then I look, then huh? Very confusing. I think very toxic. Then everything changed. A lot of hatred, self-pity, hatred. How are you going to repay me my life? Are you going to give me back my tears, my emotions? You what? You're going to take back my cases, everything because of you?
Like just gathering, eating
catch up,
together, and doing things together. Yeah. Okay. I sense that he's more comfortable, so today we could talk a little bit more about the sensitive issues. I want to find out a little bit more about you attempting suicide. When was the last incident?
I think like 2 months ago. My home know what.
What triggers you to want to harm yourself?
I don't know. I feel like I cannot let go. It's only when some wound open, right? Then all the other wounds will open as well.
Who would you worry about most if you have to go into jail?
I think my husband's life will be easier without me. I'm not even her son, I'm her grandson, but then I still bring her trouble.
We are going to continue our previous interview. Are you part of any secret society currently or before?
Before,
Okay. Why did you join?
looks like amazing back then, like have a lot of friends. If there's any problem, just be like, get involved. You wanted your name to be popular and like they started doing this like that.
How many of the settlement talks ended up in a fight?
A few, we are pulling out, we can talk, but then they are like very furious. They started shouting.
In the first session, what the parents reported in terms of his habits and in his history and his background did not seem to be congruent with the severity and the type of offences that he committed. In this second session with the boy, I'm hoping to find out a little bit more information from him. What time do you come back from meeting your friends?
7:30 I will move already. Before 8:45 I reach home already.
So do you stay out late with them sometimes?
No,
No, not at all.
cannot stay late.
Let's say the judge decides that you are suitable for probation and then gives you a bunch of conditions to follow, time restriction, community service, reporting sessions. Do you think you're going to have a problem with the conditions?
Got some problems. I'm not used to getting home early.
I say, stay away from home before. You say no, right? But then now you say actually you have problems with following the PR because you used to not be at home a lot of the times. Do you see how the information is very inconsistent?
In the past, I don't like to stay at home because
Okay.
it's very boring. Like I wanted to stay out with my friend. I can be outside for 1 week, like 3-4 days.
Why the inconsistency with the information?
Sometimes you don't like to talk about anything like that. It's like good story.
Are you worried that it will affect your chances? Even if the details are not offence-related at all, we still want them to be forthcoming because these could actually give us insight into the youth's offending behaviour. And if they are not truthful, it could affect our assessment. Today, I'm going to make a home visit to meet the family, the boy, the parents, and just take a look around their home environment.
It's not that big, the
Kitchen,
we stay here, we sleep together.
Then where the two of you sleep?
Inside here.
Can fit
Only the two small sleep with me. The mother sleep outside.
So you all rotate whoever feel like sleeping in whatever room.
Yeah.
Right?
We are used to sleep together. When we are homeless, we are all together.
I don't have money also. I must have my children in front of me.
So home visits are crucial to our investigation because we are able to pick up any concerns that were not flagged up during the interview sessions in the office. From the first interview, you all mentioned that he didn't start smoking until he was Sec 3, 15 years old. But he shared that, actually he started when he was primary 6.
Yeah, I remember that time there's one social worker came to send some food, then saw him smoking in the staircase, so they told me.
Parents also, you all reported that last time how often he would stay out is probably just once a month to fish, right? Until about 6 a.m. How come there was so much difference? Because he's saying that every week he would be going out 3 to 4 days at a time.
I'm not sure about it because sometimes when I came back home, I take my shower and then after that I sleep.
Actually, he's a very good boy. When he meet the age of teenager, he starts to mix around with some boys that have some bad influence. At home, I can control him, but outside, I can't control him. I'm so angry. Because he said, his friend always tease him. So he just want to show them. I said, you don't show off your macho-ness, then you do stupid thing.
When you didn't really follow my instructions in the first few weeks, then I scolded you. If you are placed on probation, if you don't follow instructions, right, you'll get 10 times worse than that. You ready or not?
Yeah. I trust him and I make sure that he pay the trust which we give it to him. We had CCTV, so if I don't see where he's about, I will call and check.
That's the CCTV.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Prior instructions was that if he wants to work, he has to ask me for approval first. Despite those instructions, he went to work without informing me. He was frustrated and then he responded in a way that was quite rude. But then after that, whatever messages I sent or any calls I made, he didn't pick up.
We want to make sure that the jobs that the youth has applied for, they're not jobs their negative peers have engaged in as well. And so the probation officer would require the youth to get their permission first before applying for a job.
The father was very frustrated just now also. I guess in a fit of anger, he was telling me that he might even consider divorcing the mother. This could possibly be something that has been happening for quite a while already. The inconsistency in the parenting and supervision, everything escalated really fast in just one day today. I know for sure, I assess that home probation is definitely not suitable for him. There were 2 incidents of him not informing me or seeking approval from me to get to work. When he's away in hostel, he's in that structure, he learns to be disciplined, he learns to be accountable for his own actions, because in a hostel, the consequences for not following the regulations are very concrete.
Okay, family is agreeable.
Yes.
The structure will help him detach from his peers in the neighborhood because he will spend less time there and be programming.
In the probation order, one of these conditions may include a stay in a hostel. And usually, a residence in a hostel would take maybe 9 to 12 months. And in that period, they're only allowed to return home generally on the weekends. The probation officer consider many factors in assessing whether they are suitable for probation or not, whether they are involved in school or any positive activities, whether they are motivated to change. We also look at the severity of the offense, their history of offending behavior, as well as the family makeup.
We have to ensure that the community safety is also guarded. Yeah, so it's difficult because there are so many things to consider, and this is why we usually take a long time, 4 to 6 weeks, to assess a case suitability. 你最怕什么？
怕他不听话啦。现在讲得很好啊，道西不懂，会做到不做不到的。
OK。
讲都不用钱吗？
But you know this time if you're on probation, everything will be taken into account, right?
Yeah lah. It's just whether the court is willing to give me a chance lor. Because my family support 只有这样而已。No, only my grandmother. The rest also have to depend on myself for my discipline.
I need you to think less about your family situation being this and that. Yeah, looking at what you already have. For you to be on probation, you also need to say yes, that you're going to take responsibility for your own life. It was difficult initially because the very first line that he told me was, "I'm an orphan." And it struck me. I wasn't sure how then could I support this person and ensure there would be someone in the community to support him. So when I reached out to the grandmother, then I realized that the family situation is not as bleak. So on the 28th, right, I will be in office waiting for you right after court.
How I know whether I can come down or not?
If you cannot come down, I will also be informed by the court.
All the ifs, all the should haves.
Yes, I will wait for your call, okay? If you are on probation.
I'm not that happy when he was a good boy, so I know that he's guilty, but I feel very sad. I'm not that happy when he was a good boy, so I know that he's guilty, but
The decision is that he'll be staying 2 weeks in boys' home. And after that, he'll be transferred to
foster for 12
hotel for 12 months.
Then after that, 4 months with e-tagging, 8 months in house probation.
Singapore Boys Home is a closed institution, which is a short and sharp treatment before he starts probation. So on probation, he's required to reside in a hostel, which is different from the Singapore Boys Home because he is able to still attend school or go to work in the community.
We talked to him, we hugged him, and then we said, no worry. Take care of yourself inside because you are learning. I have strong confidence that he will do it and he will change.
At first, I thought I go in. Then I just, oh no. Then suddenly say, okay, then you go in front and sign the probation thing, whatever. Then I was, heng. I got probation. Better they go in, ma. No fear. Confident.
看他的脸，就到家来讲，就到不要讲了。
Yeah, I know. You're correct what? 我刚才讲了欸。I'll try my best to spend more time with my grandmother and make sure not to worry her as much. Maybe if possible, I wish to make her proud. Now, right, the judge asked me to go and study what? Bo pian already. But I don't mind lah. It's a normal life. I haven't been living like a proper age I am.
Do you remember your probation conditions?
4 months e-tagging. The alcohol therapy, IMH counseling. CS. Then 10年投教。
Previously, when we meet, I could sense a lot of uncertainty. Finally, this sense of uncertainty is over.
Because it's a new year already, it's coming already. So new year, new me is finally gonna happen.
所以当你听到他能够缓刑，你觉得你有什么想法，有什么感受？
不是说开心不开心啊，他是缓刑是应该的啦。
Usually, after a person is placed on probation, there's a lot of motivation to want to do well. There's a lot of excitement. Perhaps the first 3 months is a period of adjustment. And after that 3 months, he would probably go through another phase. The change process is not monotonous. It can go up and down.
In the initial few months, you want to increase their whole disposition and their propensity to receive that guidance as well. And they must be convinced that there's value in it.
Yeah, we went to fetch him at the boys' home, bring him back. We have bonding time for a while. Then I sent him to hostel. So far, he's in the hostel, he's good. He said he can adjust himself over there. Can see a bit of change and his behavior, how he talk. Last time he never wash toilet. In hostel, he have to wash toilet, everything. Have to wake up in the morning. Can see his changes a bit. I always tell him, this is the second chance that you get. In future, if you want to find job or he really wants to get married, when the other side family wants to know his background, then he have bad record. Sure, there's some rejection, right? I want him to be a good person, have a stable job, and build a good family. That's my hope for him.
Some people believe that probation officers are really rigid and really strict. And then some people believe that probation officers, being counselors, are really lenient or very soft. So that's actually not true. Probation officers have various roles. So we do try to balance that enforcement role with the guidance role as well.
Do you bring a phone today?
Yes, yes.
Right, so we just look through. Do you use Telegram as well?
Yeah.
So you've been looking at cars still, lah?
Yeah. Mostly it's gym and cars.
Can I look at your browser? Sorry.
Okay.
So you didn't really like close any tabs or your history, you just left it there as well, right? Okay, that's good. And your mom, does she actually still check on your devices?
Every day, in the morning, she'll like scroll through all the history on this. She does tell me, try not to watch all those like pornographic material or anything related to it. Let's say like maybe lead me to reoffending.
So for this case, he was actually placed on probation for insult of modesty. Essentially, he committed voyeurism. He used to struggle with family-related stress, as well as boredom.
I deleted TikTok and Instagram because there are some like maybe nudity or maybe females exposed. These factors like contribute me to like have an increased sexual urge. So I try to minimize it.
There's no condition to say that you cannot watch porn, but it's part of our intervention plan. For some of them, they can abstain from it. So for those cases, you want to find out like what's the frequency, how intense. For many of them, it could be a trigger that could lead to reoffending behaviors.
A common risk factor is early exposure of internet pornography. Those that involve children, those that involve violence, or those that are voyeuristic in nature, can lead to a deviant sexual arousal pattern. That means they are no longer aroused by normal stimulus.
If you were to see in advertisements, if you watch movies, is there anything that you feel?
Yes, actually, I've discovered a way to not think about it.
Okay.
What I will do is stop whatever I'm doing, and then I will take a deep breath, and then try to clear my mind and just like, swipe it away.
You try to distract yourself?
Yeah. In the morning, I will shower in cold water daily, as I think it's said to depress the sexual urges. Nowadays, like, it's miraculously like the sexual urge does not come up as often.
Asking these questions, getting very personal, it is just part and parcel of the job. I would actually be looking at the offense itself, right? So being very objective in that manner.
On a daily basis, they have to record down like what they're thinking, the frequency of masturbation, the sexual thoughts that they have. Such external monitoring is important because eventually we want to build up their internal control.
Sexual offending in itself is a very sensitive topic. There's a lot of embarrassment. And tendency is also for families and youths to downplay the seriousness, but it should not be minimized or trivialized. In the longer run, we don't want such behaviors to get more entrenched or to escalate. And so if there's an opportunity to intervene early, to address the issues, then we should.
The offense happened last year. At that point, I was trying to seek a higher level of sexual gratification. I knew that was wrong, but it is very hard to shut out the unhealthy thoughts which floods my mind.
So majority of sex offenders do not have mental illness. It's a myth to think that they all have mental illness. It is about them having distorted thinking about sexuality. For example, they might think that a girl who wears short skirt may be okay to have sex. And such distorted thinking will need to be corrected in interventions because it can lead to deviant sexual interest as well as deviant sexual arousal pattern.
Previously, I was sexually preoccupied. I can't concentrate in my studies. When I'm in my room alone, I would have the temptation to watch pornography. At that point of time, I was caught. I was feeling very worried and anxious too. And how would my parents, my siblings, and even my friends feel? They were very angry and also shocked. I was feeling very bad. There was a sense of guilt. I'm also afraid that I will lose some of my friends. Whenever I have a sexual urge, I would tell myself that, no, you need to control this urge. You need to suppress it. No matter what, you cannot reoffend again. Gymming has some principles which progressively help me to increase the levels of my self-control. I'm afraid that the public will recognize me and then have different opinions about me. But slowly I start to overcome that fear by stepping out of that house. My family will go out for some religious events and shopping for me not to feel bored, which might lead me to reoffending. Whenever I'm feeling down or bad, I have my mom as she's at home every day. And I'm thankful that most of my friends supported me throughout my probation period.
We had an incident where you didn't turn up for work and then the internship employer actually terminated you, right? We had an incident where you didn't turn up for work and then the internship employer actually terminated you, right? And what were the issues that you thought is something you can work on?
Mental management.
If let's say you wake up late, because we realised that happened before, right? And then you MIA, so what can you do?
Update you.
And what else?
My boss.
Why is it important to update me and your boss?
So that you know.
And then when we know, what can we do?
Help.
Help who?
Help me.
Okay. So this contract thing, right, is a promise, right?
No lah, but I try my best.
Her case was transferred to me around March. She has multiple risk and needs issues, such as poor emotional regulation, poor frustration tolerance, so coupled with quite a complex family background. So she also seems to fluctuate in terms of her motivation level, and then she will sometimes also be unresponsive.
How do you feel about your graduation?
Emotional.
So today is a big milestone for you. It's towards the end of your probation already, and then it's finishing 9 months in hostel. It's up and down ride. Is there anything you worried, man?
Like just now the staff say, even if I stay out of trouble, trouble still can find me, right? With the friends.
Tomorrow onwards, leave me a voicemail. What time?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. itself or?
Before 9.
Alright. If 1 minute after, how?
Breaks.
You know very well, right?
I'm quite worried that when she comes back to the home environment, her neighborhood, when she mixes back with her old friends, and it could lead to a lot of misbehaviors on her part if she can't refuse them properly.
Maybe I ask your mom first, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, right? 1 means her probation progress good. 10 means her probation progress very bad. Since June, she had some breaches of a curfew. So these are things that have escalated more and more over the few months. Today I'm doing a home visit to prepare her for her court review.
It's 6 like that.
Hey, why is it 6, not 10? Do you hope that the judge give her another chance?
Yeah. Same as 6.
6? Why 6? Why not 10?
Obviously not 10.
What are the things that have not been so good?
Timing ah.
How about your timing?
About the phone call, the pitch time.
Why do you think we need to call you? Is it we purposely want to make your life difficult?
No lah, just want to check. Safety.
Breaches like failing to comply with time restriction or failing to attend school, they are not criminal offences, but they are big deals. We're trying to teach them that rules are important, they need to follow rules, and of course, by extension, they need to follow the law. So if there's a breach of probation conditions, then it's perhaps their lack of motivation to want to make positive changes, and also perhaps it's a deficit in their skills.
Most of my cases also I follow friend now. One of the cases is at night, so we hanging around. Yeah, then suddenly my friend come and ask me whether want to go like take a ride because he say one of these van never lock. Actually, I don't want to go. Yeah, but they like force me to go lah. And we get caught together lah. Feel sad also lah. Of course, not happy lah. Yeah. Everything is I alone. I go court also I alone. I assume is the police investigate them first. It's either they say the wrong thing or they put me in blame.
First is under the vehicle theft. After that, the second one is we stole the hair color. Yeah. Again, I need to bail her out. Then from there, the last that she have to go to this family court.
On my birthday.
Yes, on her birthday itself. It's on Saturday, I think. But on that day, sadly that she have to go to the state court. Then after that, she have to go to the prison, remanded for 1 month. It's really shocking on that day.
So what's going to happen when we go back to court? The judge may actually ask, do you see any changes and what you hope for? Right? Is it correct to say that you hope she can continue? And then she may ask you about your curfew. What are you going to share?
Terima kasih lah. See now.
What happens if the judge say no more probation for you?
Mama then go in lah.
Then how? How does that make you feel?
We look at the circumstances of the breach, how serious the breach is, and also we look at the reasons why this happened and whether they've done it before. And probation may be taken away if the breaches are really severe.
That time, yeah, I went out, eat with my friend. Afternoon. Then the place is far, so I reach home a bit late. That one is considered breaching already lah. I think I need to sign a form, is it? It's a written warning, right? Don't know lah. Sometimes I just cannot lah, but still need to go through everything. Sometimes I just mad at myself. Cannot do this, cannot do that.
We do see number of probationers who struggle to keep to their curfew. And that's also because they want to continue to associate with their friends and have late night activities. And they hope that they will not be caught.
Another 4 months to be on tagging lah.
How do you feel right now?
Okay lah, really feel. Yeah, very tiring.
The judge actually gave her a court warning. She was also ordered to go for a court review in February. During the court committee conference, we actually signed a social contract. Basically, her saying what are the areas she want to work on, exactly what is she going to do, and how is the family going to support, and how is the PO going to follow up on it. But I feel quite accomplished because today I also managed to get buy-in from the stepfather to be more involved.
So this is journey book. Help us learn what you have gone through in your 9 months in the hostel.
So this is the favorite quote. Grow through what I go through and become an independent and useful human being in future. Because what I have to go through in hostel is so tough. I was triggered by the victim. She spread rumors about my family. She shout vulgarity lah. And I can't take it. Then I accidentally slept. After that thing went viral. I remember the viral and all my family members started to PM me, Then I get shocked lah. Luckily, my daughter talked to me, Mama, my friend wanted to bring me, run. I said, better don't. So the next day, I let my daughter surrender lah. Rather than the CID come and pick my daughter, right? I have to write a letter to one of my family members. Hi, my dearest mother. I hope everything is fine outside. I just want to say that now I'm in hostel. I will make full use of this time to change. Don't worry, I'm going in here to learn a lot of new good things that will make you proud, okay? I love you so much. Wait for me to come back in. It was very cool inside the locker. That's the worst place ever. If only I tahan a bit, right? I wouldn't ended up being a probationer.
It's quite common that we hear this comment, just got away with probation. People may not know enough about what we do on probation. It is not just about supervision or reporting. At the end of the day, we also see probation as an important change element, as an important intervention in the lives of these youths.
In your 9 months, do you feel that you have improved in your firmness?
Yes. Because I don't mix around with people. Then they were on drugs. And then some of them were really caught. Yeah, and then also some of them just released from prison, then on tagging. So I shouldn't,
jump out with them.
Yeah. Like when I inside hostel also, they don't remember me what.
Oh.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Locked. Always pressured for time. Lack of freedom, of course. How long has it been? Since 28 December. I didn't realize it's been so short only. 9 days 我都很少出门了。
How does it feel?
Locked. Always pressured for time, which is always rush. Lack of freedom, of course.
Probation essentially requires a substantial change in your lifestyle. We do have probationers who tell us, especially in the initial few months, that it's just too hard. It is too overwhelming. They want to give up.
What's the most difficult thing about probation?
Quite shag when I cannot go countdown. Sian ah. It's countdown. You go countdown. I over here lor. You see the difference? At that point of time, even if I went to RDC, it wouldn't matter to me what. I'm just gonna have that lifeless face also. Then I just don't care. Because I didn't really care what. I just fail to recognize it, whatever you deem self-love. To me, the only one that hasn't given up on me is really my grandma. Maybe it's because she hasn't given up on me, I paiseh to give up myself. I want to give up on myself, but then, you know, you can restart this kind of thing. So, I'm looking for that way this year.
So where were you?
Outside.
Outside here? Cannot be. Because I called your siblings. That's not what they said lah.
Check for where?
Sorry?
I need to check with my mother whether I got take food from my auntie house or not.
You don't remember or you don't want to say?
I cannot remember.
So means you reached your curfew, right?
Forgot lah.
Why are you taking this so lightly? We just went to court, you know. Is it you don't care?
Don't know.
You don't care about your probation, ah?
Care lah.
Then why you behave like that?
Even after the necessary interventions, if we find that this is not being taken seriously, then the whole goal of probation is not there. And essentially, you are also taking, very lightly the chance that is given for you to make amends.
You don't even take care of yourself properly. How to take care of other people? I wish you can love yourself more. I'm telling you, the next time we are going back to court is for breach. And I really don't know whether you can still continue probation if your attitude continue like this.
Don't know, I said I cannot remember lah. Then you expect my memories to do what?
There is always going to be a consequence to the behaviour as long as it is something that goes against her probation order. At this stage currently, we have tried to work on the issues that she had and it doesn't seem to work. So definitely because of this breach, there will be a heavier consequence which is going back to court to reassess whether probation is still suitable for her or not.
We're here to do the closing session or the termination program with you. Right, congratulations on finishing your probation.
I see myself grow from I don't know anything to like everything is like under control. Not everything lah, but most of the things. Very tough at first, but then it's also like it changes me.
When probation comes to an end, the probation officer's role in the youth and the family's life also comes to an end. Yeah, because we're bounded by the court order. After today, you got no more PO. My role ends here, and you're on your own. You need to be independent. It's considered your case is closed. On the same note, I also want to remind you, okay, probation one time, finish, right? What do you think will happen if you get into trouble again?
Prison.
Do you think you will still get a chance on probation? No, ah?
I cannot believe that I've finished probation. I give her sometimes for her to prove that she can change. But now, if I rated thing about 40%.
40 out of 100.
Yes.
40%.
I give 0.
I got objection. I'm changed. I'm very patient now, okay? I'm more matured now.
It's true. She do mistake, she apologize. Proud of her. She ended the probation.
Wow, this is the first time you said you were proud of me. I still remember last time when I'm on probation, she told me if anything happened to me, I go inside or what, she don't want to visit me, she don't want to help. But then she still came. Thank you for going through with me this.
So at the end of the day, probation is not just reporting a one-off session. For 1.5 years to 2 years of your life, almost every aspect of your living, your progress, your thinking, your behavior gets to be monitored, it gets to be supported, gets to be challenged.
I went to cantonment to be a witness for the police, yeah. Because I saw some of the things happen. Now he remanded. I'm actually disappointed, angry. I think I used to it already. I already like free now, and then someone else has to like go inside.
We build the youth and the family up on their skills, things how to handle obstacles in their life. We also link them up with community services. Because for probation, it is a temporary thing. They have the necessary support that they need.
Some is about when you sit inside hostel, then you realize which one is a true friend and which one is not, right? Yeah, and then I decided to just be gone from them. I work 12 hours, I won't go out. I never go anywhere. So I don't have to think about anything. I must control what? I must be firm to myself also.
How come you feel that like it's okay to scam people if you have no money?
没有觉得怎样咯。你说就是人家骗你，你骗我，我骗你，你骗我就这样。帮我当然 just think that 我有他们的钱了，所以我就是赢家了。You are just gonna be there whining and crying.